Typically when I'm invited to law firms, and I've done about a dozen presentations in law firms to hundreds of lawyers, this is typically what I get. I get the non-believers. So I love the opportunity to convince people why they should use LinkedIn and why they should have a profile. And I'm sure a lot of you have folks in your firms or have worked with lawyers that do believe in LinkedIn, but I'm surprised you're probably not surprised to know that there are a lot of non-believers out there. And I get these questions all the time, and I'm sure you get the questions all the time as to why should I use LinkedIn and why should I have a profile? Why should I accept somebody's invitation? Why should I join a group? And today what I'm going to do is to give you the 3 reasons why people should connect, use it for research and for business development. But I'm going to give you tools to go back to your firms and to the lawyers that you work with so you can convince the non-believers. This is the community. If you go to the bottom of LinkedIn, there is a section that says About Us. And you know lawyers like substantiation. And this actually talks about the community of LinkedIn. And there's a lot of facts and figures that you can use where you can give, again, substantiation as to why lawyers should use LinkedIn. And I wanted to come up with 3 facts that I think are the most powerful. There are more than 175 million members in over 200 countries and territories. LinkedIn is just not about one office and connecting with people in your one community. It's a global organization. It's a global community. There are more than 2 million companies have LinkedIn company pages. And I'm not going to talk about company pages, but I also want you to know that if you haven't updated your company pages, because they're making updates all the time, to go and make sure your firm profiles are updated, because that's a really key place. People are going to your firm profiles or your company profiles to find information about you. And then corporate hiring solutions are done by 85% of the Fortune 500 companies. They didn't talk about in-house lawyers hiring, but I can tell you that I recently met with an in-house counsel on a business trip, and he was telling me that the 2 places that he goes when he gets a referral is a law firm bio and the LinkedIn profile. So talk about the value question. I recently got an email from a client of mine asking me why they should use LinkedIn. And I laughed when I got this response to my response to them was, it's a powerful business tool, it's a powerful networking tool, and yes, everyone, and from the IT department too, asked me this, should everybody in their firm have access to LinkedIn from the office? So this is the response I got. This is not a reason to use anything. That's like 9 out of 10 doctors recommending Bayer aspirin being used as a justification to take aspirin. Provide some evidence that LinkedIn generates business as opposed to being just another channel that PR people use to generate unwanted email. It's very cynical, but so as a result, I actually went in and did a LinkedIn training to the firm. But while LinkedIn is a great PR opportunity with their profiles as well as the update section, I don't believe that LinkedIn is a PR tool. It's a business networking, business generating machine. It's a great networking site for that. And so I don't, kind of shows you like the mentality of the lawyers in the IT department. So I want to talk about the profile. And I'll make a bold statement, and maybe not be that bold to you, but I will tell you that I believe that a LinkedIn profile is just as important, if not more important, than your law firm bio or your professional bio. And I'll tell you why. It provides more information about you. It tells people who you know, why you may know them, what networking groups that you might be involved in. It provides an incredible amount of information that your firm bio, the lawyers' bios, or your professional bios on your firm site might not provide. Professional photo, and this might be funny to a lot of marketers, but you'd be surprised there's still a lot of lawyers and professionals out there that still don't have a photo on their bio, on their profile, or they might have an unprofessional photo. And when lawyers say, well, why should I put my photo up there? Because I get that question a lot. I say it's like walking into a networking event with a bag over your head. People want to know who they're doing business with. They want to know who they're dealing with. Professional photos. So if you get that question, which it comes up a lot, and what I do and who I do it for, Just like a firm bio, professional bio, you should say, who do you work for, what kind of work do you do, and who do you work for? Because somebody coming there, let's say the attorney's bio, and it happens a lot, because it happens to a lot of my clients. Attorneys don't update their bio enough, or maybe it's years old. But I want to know who do you work for? What do you do? Because you might be missing a huge opportunity to get business or somebody, and if there's another professional that actually does state that, they might get the business, because the person is, when people are doing search, and you probably are all doing research too, you've got like less than 30 seconds to make a decision as to, do I even want to deal with this person? And no photo, what do I do? Who do I do it for? If it's not up there, you might be passed over. I've had lawyers say to me, well, why should I put my past firms? I don't want anybody to know where I used to work. Well, as you know, LinkedIn has an algorithm where they actually will make connections based on where you've worked in the past. And you might be missing out on a great referral network if the lawyer doesn't put that kind of information. LinkedIn, and I get this question a lot, will you come and help me sit and update my LinkedIn profile and tell me what kind of information I should put? LinkedIn is dummy proof. It takes you through the whole process, and I'm sure you all see this, and then it'll have 100%, and it'll tell you whether you have 100% complete profile. It doesn't take a genius to complete a profile. And I know, again, there might be a lot of people that might need that help, but LinkedIn makes it so easy for a professional to create a solid profile. So what are the best practices for connecting? I love the question. I get invitations, but I don't accept them. And I say, well, why not? Well, I'm not sure. I don't know if I want this person in my network, and I'm not really sure. I don't want to know if I want this person in my network, and I'm not sure if I want to connect with them, and if I connect with them, can I unfriend them? And then I have to explain that LinkedIn is not Facebook. These aren't really your friends. These are your business contacts. These are people who are referrals. These are people who you're doing business with. These are your professional associates. So, and I always remind, connect with people you know. I don't connect with people I don't know. I connect with people that I might have a lot of connections with, a lot of contacts with, because they might be incredible referral network for me. But I only connect with people I really know. And I will tell you that about 90% of my network, I actually have a personal relationship with them, or actually have made a touch point with them. And that's what your network is for, is to make those connections. And identify potential referral sources. Again, even if they aren't people that you've actually done business with, or you've had direct contact with, but they have connections to you, or they might be part of your alumni association, or you might be involved in trade groups, they might be great referral networks. So you might be missing out on an opportunity to connect with somebody that will refer your firm business. And don't be afraid to connect with people. Lawyers are afraid to connect. They're afraid if they connect with somebody, and what if they don't accept my invitation, and then I feel like left out. And so it's like, don't be afraid to reach out. Networking is being involved in, or being a member of LinkedIn is an open invitation to connect. It's an open invitation to say, I want you to be part of my network. I want to go out to lunch with you. I might want to be, I want to be part of your network. The most amazing thing about LinkedIn is it's a free research tool. A lot of firms pay a lot of money for access to research and to direct connections. But LinkedIn is the most incredible tool for competitive intelligence, and I know most marketers, business developers spend a lot of time doing that. I'm going to take you through one case scenario, but it's a great place to search for companies, connections, potential contacts, get company background, find out who's in legal departments, find out who's hiring in their legal department. Recently, a client of mine asked me about identifying people in a legal department of a company, and I told her to look on LinkedIn. She was going to go on the internet and go to Google and search, and I said, just go to LinkedIn. It compiles the information for you. The search function is phenomenal. I don't have a pointer here, but as you know, if in the top of LinkedIn it says, there's a section that says companies. So if you just put in a company, this is what comes up. And like I said, there are hundreds of companies that have profile pages, and obviously you have to rely on the companies to update them and put the best information, but they'll actually put who their recent hires are, if they're hiring, any corporate decisions that they've made, any deals that they've worked on, But I love that. And then up in the top section, it will say there's a search function. And that's an incredible way to do the research on the company. So I put in Sony Pictures Entertainment. And what I came up with was, I mean, this is a screenshot of my profile, but I have a long list of connections at Sony. And I don't do a lot of business with them, but I know a lot of my clients do. And what's great is that I know Lenny. So Lenny and I are our first connection. And what's great is that if I didn't know somebody, Lenny probably is connected to them, and it's a great introduction. I had a client recently ask me about making cold calls, and I said, why make a cold call? Go to LinkedIn, look up the person's contact information, find out who they know, find out if you went to law school, find out the contact, that there might be connections that they have, and then you can make an introduction that way instead. And it's wonderful because most companies don't have all of their legal departments or all of their executives on the website. And you will never know who they know unless you went to a networking event and you talked with them and then you talked about 6 degrees of separation or 2 degrees of separation. So they make it really, really wonderful. So when I put in legal in Sony Pictures Entertainment, I came up with 153 results. It means 153 people are either in their legal department or have worked for that legal department. And what's great is that, I don't know this gentleman. I don't know Andrew Carter, but we have one connection. I don't know Joanne Magno is a legal and business affairs executive, but we have 4 shared connections. And if I wanted to know her, I'd look at who those connections are, and hopefully one of them I have a great relationship with, and then I can actually contact them by phone if I know them, or through LinkedIn or email and say, you know what, I really am looking to get to know Joanne. Will you make an introduction, or would you mind if we set up a lunch meeting and let's go to lunch? And it's like I said, their Sony Pictures Entertainment website doesn't have this kind of information on it. Your to-do list. Your to-do list is, who are your firm's evangelists? And I know they're out there because I've talked to some of you about success stories that they've had, or that your firm, that you've heard. And so the goal is to find who are those evangelists and find their success stories. And use those success stories in your presentations to your attorneys or in your conversations with them. If they question why should they use LinkedIn and why should they have a profile. And use it for your internal case studies, and connect with recruiters and alumni. They are an incredible referral source for you, the alumni networks and recruiters. And again, look at your firm's profile page, because people who are looking to do business with your firm are looking at your company profile page. And encourage all of your professionals and your firms, as well as the lawyers, to add their titles and add their your firm's information on their profile, so that when people are looking at your firm and considering doing business with your firm or your company, that they actually have, they can look at who's working with them, working with your firm, or who is employed by your firm, and getting really good information, competitive intelligence. I was going to put a bunch of happy lawyers on there, but I thought it'd be much more fun to have dogs on there, because dogs love treats. And I think that LinkedIn is the most incredible treat for marketers and PR professionals, because there's a plethora of information. It's an incredible resource tool. It's a great business development opportunity for everybody. In here, it just is for recruiting, for hiring, as well as for doing business. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I hope I answer the question as to LinkedWhy to connect. Yes?
What would you advise people to do if they're trying to work on the profile themselves and making sure that it is compatible with a search engine function?
Yeah, just like as your firm bio, I would make sure you put all the keywords in there for searchability, but the keywords where you would get hired. So if you do work for real estate development companies in Southern California that develop brownfields, make sure that all of those key terms are on your LinkedIn profile. And again, it should mirror your what you do in your or what you put in the lawyer bio. as well. But make it very specific. I mean, exactly like, tell people what kind of work that you want and tell people the kind of work that you do. No mystery. Thank you.